Hey y'all, happy Friday. So I just wanted to take a minute to do a quick video here because I've been thinking a lot about willingness. For those of you who know me know that I have been struggling for years with body image, with self-care, with sticking to this diet and that diet, and with how I look and how much I exercise and how many fucking cookies I eat. So I had a thought the other day because here we come at the end of another summer where I have been doing a lot of what I always do during the summer, which is eat a lot of cheeseburgers and have a lot of, Dairy Queen blizzards, and there's a lot of ice cream that happens. And you know what? It's been really hot, and I just haven't been running. I haven't been really exercising. So some of the weight that I had lost coming into the summer, I have gained back. Now, let's keep in mind that I also started a second business and I've been super busy, and so it's really easy for me to get caught up into the idea that, the excuse is it's either too hot or I'm too busy. And so I sat with myself for a minute and I thought to myself, well, if anything at all were going to happen differently, when would that happen? When would the changes really happen? And the answer was right fucking now. So if I were to make any sort of choice that was going to make any difference, that would happen right now. Whether right now be now or when I was having the thought or tomorrow or the next day, right now is when all changes are made, because that's when we make our decisions. And when I asked myself, am I willing right now to make the choice to go run or to go exercise or to pick up my weights or to do something with my body, to move my body? At that moment, the answer was no. I was not willing at that moment to do that. I was willing to sit right where I was. And so I thought to myself, why in God's name am I beating myself up or allowing my brain to go and obsess over some thoughts that really I don't have the willingness, and did not at that moment have the willingness to do anything about. So that really is the definition of unmanageability and insanity, because let's be real, I can think those thoughts all day long, but if I don't have the willingness to make any choices, then it's just the wheels going round and round and round and round, and it just perpetuates the whole problem. So what I decided to do was what I always do. That's always the solution for me. When I don't have willingness and of my own strength and power, I am not able to do something, I do one thing, and that one thing is actually do two things. The first thing I do is I surrender, because there's no more action, there is no more powerful, there's no more powerful action that you can take in this world beyond the ability to surrender, especially when you are powerless over something that you want to do or want to stop doing. Hence, drinking, using drugs. We hear this word a lot in recovery circles, and it's time for us to hear it beyond those recovery circles, because really the ability to surrender in any given moment, something that I'm not able to do of my own will, that's when all of the major changes have happened in my life. So what do? I surrender, and then I pray. I pray like a motherfucker. And you know what I pray for? I pray for the willingness. And oftentimes what happens when I pray for the willingness, someone shows up in my life who can help and inspire me to make those positive choices. So often, most times, 99% of the time, it is a person who shows up in my life who inspires me to make healthier choices. And I want to really focus on the idea here that me sitting in my house all by myself with my thoughts, beating myself up round and round, over and over, me and my crazy little thoughts and my crazy little brain, not much change happens there. It's when I'm willing to let go, admit that me, of my own accord, I am not going to be able to pull this shit off, and I start to pray like a motherfucker that someone, something is brought into my life that's going to help and inspire me to make better choices. And it works. It always, always works. And so I just want to remind everyone, as we are, again, I know I'm not the only one who, it's funny because, you know, the seasons come and the seasons go, and with every season there's like a reason why we have to go off our diet, or there's a reason why it's hard to exercise. And the reason is like a lot of times it's way funner to eat what we want to eat, and it's a lot funner, or it's a lot easier to not exercise, and it's just easier, right? It's easier, and those are the choices that we tend to make, especially in a stressful life, you know? Life is stressful, and that's just the truth of the matter. So let's just be real here and realize, like, okay, here's, you know, another season is ending, and you know, a new one is upon us, and I'm probably not the only one who's ready to make that, like, new season resolution. Like, okay, time to get rid of the summer weight and time to make better choices, and what can I do? And if I'm not fucking careful, then I can spend way too much time thinking that I'm gonna think my way out of my current situation, and that's just never, ever, ever, ever true. So, you know, I surrendered. And every time I start to feel my mind starts to go to a place where I know I can get trapped and get caught up in thinking those repetitive self, you know, defecating thoughts, or those thoughts that that I'm not good enough and whatever, then I choose to just, you know, send a shout out, like say a prayer, pray however you do. The other thing that I often do, especially since my problem area is around my midsection, the section of our body where that is oftentimes called the hara. We have energy centers and chakras, and, you know, I'm into all that. And so for me, breathing into this area of my body with intention to sort of enliven, because oftentimes these areas of our body that are screaming out to us, they're starving for something. Like, I'm hungry, I keep feeding myself, and yet this area of my body is like hollering to me. It wants my attention. And there's very, very strong, powerful energy center that lives in this area of our body. And so what I oftentimes will do is I'll do my breath work, I'll do some movement meditation, I will touch my body with my hands, I will give myself a massage, I will ask someone else to touch my body there, I will do what I need to do in order to make that part of my body feel loved, and make that part of my body feel integrated, and to make that part of my body feel nourished and well fed, because for whatever reason, all of the cookies, all of the Dairy Queen, and all of the cheeseburgers that I've been eating, they're just not nourishing that part of my body. So, you know, there are many martial arts techniques, there are many breathwork techniques, there are many meditative and yogic techniques, and there's all sorts of ways that you can connect to the energy centers in your body. I urge you to take a moment to lay down, maybe give yourself a scan, breathe into all the parts of your body. You can start with your head or you can start with your toes, but to really start to breathe into every single nook and cranny of your body, release any tension, release any stress, continue to breathe, and see what thoughts arise. See what messages come to you, because this will be the time when your body is really hollering loud and clear, or maybe it's whispering. I don't know, mine tends to holla at me. But just listen to your body. It will tell you. My body clearly tells me to run. My body wants me to run. My body wants me to drink plenty of water. My body will tell me when I need to sit and rest and sleep. My body will tell me most everything I need to know. It'll tell me when I need, you know, an orgasm. It'll tell me when I need sex. It'll tell me when I need nipple stimulation, which is also another thing that's very, very helpful in getting the energy and things moving. So, like I said, there are so many ways to work with our bodies, to work with our bodies, to work with the energy of the universe, of God, of whatever you want to call it. But it always starts with one thing, and that starts with surrender. And so let's start with that. Well, we're going to surrender, we're going to say a prayer, and then we're going to do some work and some techniques to get ourselves to melt away some of that stress so we can hear clearly the messages that will come through, whether it be my body speaking or my higher power speaking through the voices that I'm here, whatever you think, because I'm not here to tell you what to think or what you believe or what God or goddess or higher power, whatever. This is really just about you being able to communicate and hear and connect. So I'm very grateful that I have the internet to be able to convey these messages to people. And I'm very grateful that I am the kind of person who is willing to sit here and do a video for people, because I think I'm grateful for who I am today. And I'm grateful that I did get on my sneakers and take a run, because I felt much better after I did. And thank you so much for listening, and namaste.